that we were forever. Hi everybody, welcome or welcome back. Today we are picking my May TBR. My April reading wrap-up is going to be coming out after this one. Spoiler alert, I think I read one book that I picked for my April TBR. That brings us to today's video. I'm going to be picking my own TBR this month. I am actually so excited for this because I feel like we've just been seeing all these fun, different ways to be picking a TBR. But I thought because of last month, I in fact did not read almost any of the books my Instagram picked for my TBR. To be fair, I didn't realize at the time how many new releases are coming out in the month of April. So that is the reason why I didn't get to any of the books that I picked. Oh my gosh, it was such a good reading month that there was no way I couldn't read the books that were being released in April. We had Emily Henry's new release. We had the novella To Powerless, which was Powerful by Lauren Roberts. Holly Jackson's new book, and we had Abby Jimenez's new book, and we also had Wild Love by Elsie Silver. So like I said, there were so many new releases. Also, I am filming a reading vlog of all those anticipated releases that came out in April, so stay tuned for that. I'm really excited to post that video for you guys. Now, moving on to today's video. I've been really only mood reading recently. Right now, in between seasons, is when my taste in books is changing a lot. So I've been doing a lot of mood reading, so that's kind of another reason why I wanted to pick my own TBR this month. I don't want to put myself in a book slump by reading books that I don't want to read. Simple as that. First things first, I need to look up if there's any new releases coming out in May. Learning from last month, I need to make sure I account for all of those new releases that I don't have physically yet that I'm gonna want to read in the month of May. So we need to check on those before we do anything else. So I know Goodreads usually does like a whole separate thing for new releases that are coming out. I have to re-download it. And for those of you who've been asking, I've seen a couple comments wondering if I do have a Goodreads account. I did have one, but I haven't been active on it in a while. Honestly, Goodreads, I don't know how they haven't updated their app. Like, they're probably one of the most used book apps out there. This looks like it was made 15 years ago. Honestly, I was just getting really frustrated with it. I ended up downloading this other book app, but I don't think you can like be friends with people on it. But I'll tell you what it's called. It's called TBR Bookshelf. It's that. Oh, can you see it? That one right there. It can have has your goal, how many books you've read, and when you finish a book, it adds it to your cute little bookshelf. Like, how fun is that? I just love it, and it was so much cuter than Goodreads, so I started using that instead. Okay, so I have the Goodreads list pulled up, and honestly, I'm looking through these, and none of them are really grabbing my attention that much. I don't think there's any books that are coming out in May that I am aware of or that I'm seeing at the moment I'm gonna want to add to my TBR as of now. I think we're just gonna try and stick to our physical TBR. We are gonna move over to my physical TBR and see what we have to work with. Oh my god. This thing is a little off balance. Now that we have brought my handy dandy book cart over, I have a couple reads right off the bat that I know I'm going to be reading in May. And those are going to be these two books right here. We have The Reappearance of Rachel Price, Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. These two books, like I said, are going to be going into a reading vlog that I'm currently filming. And in that video, I'm reading April's most anticipated releases, which these two are a part of, and I just haven't gotten to yet. I know The Reappearance of Rachel Price, obviously an iconic mystery thriller by Holly Jackson. I believe this one is about the reappearance of Rachel Price. Duh. We follow her daughter. Rachel Price disappeared, went missing. A TV documentary sort of company comes to the Price family and wants to do a documentary on Rachel Price's disappearance. So I'm very curious to see if I like this one. Then we have Just for the Summer. Usually I save summery books to read in the summer. These books just have a certain vibe. I've just been really craving that feeling that these kinds of books bring. It's about Emma and Justin, and they both believe they kind of have the curse of when they date someone and they break up, after they date them, that person finds like their forever person. Their plan is to date each other and then the curses will cancel out. Therefore, after they date each other, they'll find their person officially. I've actually never read one of Abby Jimenez's books, but I'm so excited to actually finally pick one up, and I've heard such good things about this one. Probably gonna go down an Abby Jimenez rabbit hole because I know so many of her other books are so loved. I'm very excited to get to this one. Now that we have the 2 for sure reads, it's time to dive into the rest of the book cart. There are 2 books that I think I want to put on my May TBR. I also don't know how many books I want to choose to put on my TBR this month. Maybe I'll be a little ambitious and do more than I usually would. First off, we have Done and Dusted by Lila Sage. This is only 334 pages, which is a very small read. Like, look at that. The cover's so gorgeous also. This is another cutie little cowboy romance. I've been eating up the cowboy romances. If you've been watching my videos recently, you know this. I don't know what it is, but it looks like Done and Dusted is a brother's best friend romance. Clementine, or Emmy as they call her, had some sort of accident and she has to return back to her hometown that she's been trying to escape. In comes in Luke Brooks, notorious bad boy. Who doesn't love a brother's best friend? Romance. Done and Dusted it is. Obviously, we're gonna add Swift and Saddled, which is the second book in this little interconnected series. I believe this one is kind of like the city girl, country boy trope. A workplace romance, if you will. Weston, which is the main guy, hires Ada to help with a job on his ranch. These both are super short reads, so I feel like I'll be able to get through them pretty quickly. Therefore, that gives me more room to read more books this month. Super excited about these. I know there's a 3rd one coming out in this like interconnected series. I definitely want to read these 2 before that one comes out. I'm just so obsessed with these covers. These are so fun. I feel like since I've been reading a lot of romances recently, I'm a little nervous that I'm gonna get tired of them, and I don't want that to happen. I feel like having short romances like this will help me not get in a book slump. I feel like I should pick one that adds a little bit more variety to my stack because I do have a lot of romances, which we love a good romance, like I said. Right now I have 4 books picked so far, and I think I pick 3 more so that we have 7 books. It's gonna be The Wishing Game. This book has been circling the internet for quite some time now. All of the book girlies that I'm sure you all watch on YouTube have loved this book. I really want to get to this book sooner rather than later because I feel like the longer a book sits on my TBR cart, the more I lose interest in wanting to read it, and especially because regular general literary fiction is not really a genre I read a lot of. I feel like it's hard to really spark and grab my attention, so while I'm still interested in reading this, I want to try and read it as soon as I can. This teacher who wants to adopt this kid, I believe her name is Lucy? Yes, Lucy does not have enough money to adopt someone. An author that both Lucy and this kid really love comes out after some sort of retirement for a very long time and is writing a new book and is having this sort of competition and offering a prize as well. Assuming maybe that would give her the opportunity to adopt this kid. I don't really know the specifics of it, but that I believe that's kind of what it's about. I've just heard this book is so heartwarming and so wholesome and just written really well. I've just heard nothing but good things about this book and I really want to pick it up. I need to pick the last 2 books that we're gonna add to the TBR. I think we're gonna go with Ruthless Vows just because I did read Divine Rivals this month and I actually enjoyed it quite a bit. That was kind of the first like cozy fantasy, I guess you could say, that I've ever read. I wasn't necessarily used to that sort of genre. I did actually end up picking this one up. I read the prologue. I don't know, something about it, I put it down and I never picked it back up, which I knew the second I put it down I wasn't gonna pick it up. And I feel like if I don't read this soon, I'm never gonna read it. I do already own this book on my physical TBR, so I kind of feel like I might as well just read it, and so that I can have the complete duology just done with. For our last and final book, Heartless by Elsie Silver. This is the second book in the Chestnut Spring series. The first book, which was Flawless, I absolutely loved it, and then I read Wild Love by her and I absolutely loved it. So I really want to dive into the rest of the Chestnut Spring series super bad. I've just been waiting for a good time to pick up the second book. I believe there's 5 books in the series, I think. This one is a nanny single dad trope, which I know there's a lot of books out there that do have this trope. I've never read like a nanny romance, I don't know, where the dad or the mom falls in love with the nanny. To spice it up even more, it's also an age gap romance. So it looks like Cade Eaton, which is the main guy, is 13 years older than Willa Grant. Wait a minute. So Wild Love, which is completely a different series than the Chestnut Spring series, Willa Grant is the sister of Ford Grant, which is the main guy in Wild Love. I'm a little taken aback by that. I'm so excited to read this now because he does do a little pop-up in the Wild Love book and I really liked her character, so now we get a whole book of her romance. I like how these books are not necessarily like super stereotypical cowboy romances. It's about this family that lives in the country. One's a bull rider, one just works on the ranch. Like they're not like the stereotypical yeehaw cowboy. So our official TBR for the month of May is gonna be The Reappearance of Rachel Price by Holly Jackson, Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez, Swift and Saddled by Lila Sage, Done and Dusted by Lila Sage, Ruthless Vows by Rebecca Ross, The Wishing Game by Meg Schaefer, and last but not least, Heartless by Elsie Silver to top it all off. Here we have the official stack for the month of May. I was a little worried about doing this video. Super fun to do like jar picks my TBR. I feel like I've just been needing to mood read recently, so I'm super excited that I decided to pick my own TBR this month because these are all books that I've been really wanting to read and I really want to get to. I wanted to thank you guys so much for watching and subscribing to my channel. I really love making book videos for you guys, so comment down below other videos, book videos, just other content in general that you guys want to see from me in the future. I hope you guys enjoyed watching my video. I hope you're having a good day whenever and wherever you're watching this, and I will see you in my next video.